You did say before we started, not to like jump around year to year, but you were gonna bring up a story from '09.
Oh, from
So
from
my
oh 08 at Blue Coats.
'08
Oh,
Blue
oh
Coats, and I
09.
guess
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah.
So
Someone you marched at Blue Coats with.
absolutely, yeah, yeah. So this was when I went to go watch your Crown '09 lot in Allentown. And my girlfriend at the time, my wife now, Jenny, who I've been with since then. So a lot of people I marched with, met her, and we went to pick up a friend of ours who marched Blue Coats with, and Evan and March Crown with, and that probably whittles it down right there as to who it is. But we picked him up on his night off, and I took him to the liquor store so he could get some booze, and he made some decisions that night and stayed out after lights out and got caught. Went to the bar with the core director, I guess, and
Yeah,
then he had to
we
sit
didn't go
out.
with the core director, but he went to the bar that the core director was also at. Him and another member of the drum line showed up. Like, all right, if you're gonna drink, all right, you can get away with it, but you probably shouldn't go to the bar where everyone in their family, like who's on staff, goes to. Walks into the bar. Oh, there's the core director. It's like, oh my God.
And
I
then
think
so
that he wanted to send him home.
yep, and I
And
think he just fight for him.
yeah, Zach and Lee Bettis fought for him. Like, dude, no, we get it. They screwed up. Like, you're right, they screwed up, but we're not sending them home. So they just ended up sitting them out for Allentown. But we ended up marching 8 snares out of the 9 and 4 bases out of the 5. Base 2 was out. No big deal.
I remember watching that lot on that Saturday night at Allentown, and Crown '09 was a freaking good drum line, and sitting next to those two members and just talking to them like, how does it feel to like watch the line that you're in, like in late July, maybe even early August by that point,
August.
when you guys are just like ramming and playing so well, and they're just like sitting out watching. It was just so surreal. It was funny.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So
Well,
here's a brief overview of how the drinking got too excessive at Blue Coats in '08. So I mentioned on the actually this was after we stopped recording, but I think Blue Coats made some good decisions after the '08 summer and changed some rules. But sometimes you don't really know what the rules need to be changed to until you've gone too far. And in '08, we basically like there was a bunch of age outs, and a lot of us were in the battery. There was 14 vets, and the rookies had all marched world class finals before. They weren't really inexperienced by any means. And the 18 of us, I think we added it up. Like if you took DCI and WGI experience, we had like 105 years of experience between the 18 of us. I mean, it was just stupid. It was just like a bunch of us were like getting to age out, and we like all had come back. So we were like a little bit ready for things to be really, really good right away, or we were just going to be pissed. And the rest of the core wasn't necessarily as many vets. There was a lot of rookies in the horn line, a lot of rookies in the color guard. So as the summer started to progress, it started like the scoring was like a little asymmetrical. Like, the drum line progression section would get like second at a regional, and the color guard would be like 13th, or like the visual would be like, 11th. And we just got like kind of fed up. And again, we were just like cocky 21-year-olds, and we just drank all the time. And we had parties in the bus, and there was definitely, incidents that I think a lot of people have probably heard about, retreat and so on. And I'm glad that Blue Coats have made some, better policy changes. And I'm glad that I still have a good relationship with, the core director at the time. I apologize to him. When I was the director at Mason, I reached out to Dave Glasgow and said, hey, like, I feel like I specifically owe you an apology because now I know what you were going through when I was the one as a member. And
oh
we
my
just went crazy.
gosh. Dude. Yeah. I mean, live and learn.
Did you guys ever skip a block and just like not go to a block?
No, there was like, one of the things that we ended up doing a lot of times, we just like stayed on the bus. So like we got to a housing site, we just like kept sleeping on the bus. We didn't go inside the school. But part of that was just because there was like so much booze left over on the bus. We didn't want to have to like clean up. We did that a lot. And like, we were allowed to go to bars if we had free time. And I think they meant that rule to be for free days, but we just took that to mean whenever we weren't on the field. So there was times during lunch break, we'd sneak away to, there was times like on EPL where we'd quickly shower, throw our stuff in the bus, and then like go to a bar for happy hour. And then we had to go to the lot and go to a show. But I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, early season, there was a couple lots where we realized like a few people were like
Still
literally
buzzed.
not sober.
Yeah.
And we like put a hex on that pretty quick because we needed to play clean. And that's the thing is like we all wanted to play clean and we wanted to be good. So once like time came to like do the work, we performed well. That said, when the time was free time, we also partied well.
Man, that makes me feel like I always tell the story from 2012 because we were all age outs in that snare line at Coach except for Joe Woody and had a bunch of experience and stuff. And we cut a visual block one day. Like we basically we did a head change after the show the night before. And like when you first put a fresh Kevlar head on a snare drum, it needs time to break in. You have to baby step it up as you crank it over the next day. And so we had Vis block in the morning. Roger Carter told us to put our drums bottom heads up in a circle under this tree. And we were going to go to Vis with no drums. And this is like mid-July, I think, maybe early July. It was mid-tour. And the basses and quads had their drums, so they went to Vis block like they always do. And we pretty much just said, this is dumb to go do Vis without drums. So we're just going to go hang out somewhere for 3 hours. And we just never showed up. And like the basses and quads told us later that they're like, yeah, we just figured Roger had you guys. Like nobody asked about you once. None of the Vis staff asked. And then like we're at lunch eating and then Mike Jackson walks out of the staff camper and just finds us all around a tree and goes, so what's this I hear about you guys just not being at Vis block this morning? And we were just like, we don't know what you're talking about. And he just laughed and walked away. I was like, all right, that's where we're at right now.
That's great. Yeah, I feel like another thing that like contributed to the '08 summer being what it was that there was definitely some of the same like emotional burnout from the staff, the percussion staff, drum staff. And I mean, there was just like some crazy stuff. Like Tim Maynard showed up to rehearsal one day with legit full body bruising. He was clutching his ribs. He had like a black eye, like a bruise on his lip. And like, dude, what the hell happened? And this was in move-ins, and it went on all summer. He like would lay down during snare sectionals because his rib was legit broken. And we heard every bit of like lies from the staff. Like, oh, he got in a fight. Oh, Mac beat him up. And they were all just like joking. And I think there was like an incident with the golf cart that we later found out to be the case. And it was just crazy. I mean, like it was drum corps, but at the time it felt definitely like, we were just trying to live our lives as a bunch of 21-year-olds. And then we just happened to also have to go rehearse during the day and do shows at night.
Dude, I love that, dude. Yeah, maybe a little rambunctious overall, but I mean, just memories and stories that will never be forgotten. And like you said, probably recalibrated some things from an organizational standpoint on the Bluecoats' behalf that launched them into the trajectory that they are today. So, I mean, whatever.
There you go.
It's probably for the better, Just let's look at it that way.
Exactly.